So welcome back to PoorBoy Disc Golf, and this time we're going to do a review on a mid-range. I really didn't have really any funny way to do the intro or anything, but I do got a hat to help set the mood. Because today we're going to be reviewing the Latitude 64 Anchor mid-range. I'm going to show you how I threw it and everything, and then I'll come back to do the review. Alright, so this one is a Latitude 64 Anchor in the Opto line. It is a double stamped, as you can see. I picked it up at the Northwest Arkansas Dynamic Disc Store for $8 on the used rack. This thing has, I don't think it's been thrown, maybe once or twice, if that. This thing is nice. So let's talk about it. It's a mid-range. It's one of their Overstable mid-ranges. Speed 5, glide 4, turn of 0, and a fade of 3. This is a pretty overstable mid-range. As you can see, there's the profile of it and everything. It is pretty deep. It's got a pretty deep rim. As you can see, I can fit, my fingers in there pretty good, and everything. If I was doing a sidearm, it's real comfortable. It feels like there's a lot of plastic against the fingers. You can get a good flick out of it. As far as it being overstable, it is overstable. As you see, I was throwing it. I was getting a little flex out of it because we had a 5 to 10 mile an hour wind going from left to right across where I was throwing it. But that actually helped get out there a little bit farther. The wind would catch it and it'd go to the right just a little bit, and then it'd fade right back to where it was supposed to. It's got a good fade at the end. If you throw it on a good hyzer spike, or a spike hyzer, it will get to the ground in a hurry and it'll stay right where it's at. You can throw it on a flex line, it'll flex over, but then it comes right back over and does that nice fade at the end. The only disc that I can think of is a more overstable Compass. It looks pretty similar to the Compass, except this one's got the beaded on the bottom. It does have what you would consider a bead, not a traditional bead, but it is a bead, or a flare, as some people might call it. But yeah, that's what makes it more overstable. I do know that they have this in several other lines of the plastic and everything, but this is the Opto line. And I actually like it. It's got pretty good flex to it, so it's going to be good in the winter. When it skips, it doesn't skip as far as normally they would. But being an overstable, this will, when it hits, if it hits kind of flat, which, unless you're putting a really good anhyzer on it, it's gonna hit the ground at a good angle. And for me, it would hit and it would kind of just go a little bit and roll, maybe just a bit, and that was it. Threw a few times off camera and got it to flex line really hard, but I was throwing that thing like this just to get it to go over, and then it just flattened out and it came back like it does. It's got that reliable fade at the end. This is a really good mid-range. I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner, more of an advanced player or intermediate player. But yeah, this is a good little disc. So if you want something that's overstable, this would be a good mid-range for you. I really like the disc. It might not go in the bag because I'm trying to get to where I can put some distance on it, but it might, you never know, it might go in there next to the Bounty, because the Bounty I can turn over and go to the right. Maybe I can put this in there and it would go to the left, because the Compass was more of it would go flat, and it has a little bit of a fade, but not as much as the Anchor. The Anchor is a really, really reliable, overstable mid-range. And, you know, it's perfect for those shots in the headwinds, left to right winds, whatever you need to throw this in the wind. This will be good for that. You know, that's about all I can say for it. You know, it was a good disc for me. I'm gonna take it out and throw a little bit more, and you know, see how it does. You never know. But yeah, I really like the Anchor. Like a speed 5, glide 4, turn 0, and a fade of 3. You know, this is a reliable mid-range if you're looking for something that is overstable. And like I said, I kind of like that it's got that bead on the bottom because it makes it a little bit deeper rim. And for a guy like me, you know, I don't have the biggest hands in the world, but I do like to be able to put a good grip on the disc and get every bit of power I can out of it. And some of those you can't because they have a thinner rim depth. But yeah, I hope you liked this video on the Anchor. I'm going to try to do some more reviews in the next month, so be on the lookout for them. And as always, this is PoorBoy reminding you to play the sport and grow the sport that is disc golf. Thanks for watching.